Here are things that shocked me and surprised me when I first moved to Australia. Not all these things might apply to each state or city, as Australia is just huge. But these are just some things that are completely different in my country, for example. I mostly lived in Sydney, a little bit in Tasmania, and just traveled to other places. And none of these are bad things. They're just those things where you realize, oh, I'm definitely not at home anymore. I'm also interested to hear if you think the same, or how is it in your country? Is it completely different to where you come from? Or yeah, just let me know in the comments. I love to know. So the first thing that surprised me in Australia was that hanging laundry on your balcony is often not allowed. We moved into an apartment building in Sydney where we had a big balcony, and I thought, great, that's amazing. The clothes will dry so fast now. But no, to my surprise, when I tried to do that, I got a message from the building manager letting me know to please kindly remove your clothing rack as it's against the apartment building's rules. I was like, seriously? That's a thing here? Like, I really had no idea, and I didn't even think about it, that it could be an idea, because back home in Estonia, it's not a thing. Back in the old days, we dried our clothes outside like this. And yeah, it just never even crossed my mind that it might not be allowed. I know that a dryer is very common in Australia, but I kind of hate it and I don't like to use it. But I did comply. I didn't make that mistake again. But yeah, it just never really crossed my mind, even though it might be very normal thing in Australia. Free clean toilets at the beaches. This honestly shocked me in the best way. Not all of them are perfectly clean, of course, but the fact that they're free and they are there, and they are actually kind of clean compared to like some of the places I've seen. They're at the beaches, they're at the parks, and it's just amazing. In my country, you often have to pay for toilets, even in shopping malls or bus stations. So having free public toilets is kind of a luxury thing. Tasmania is a hidden and not talked about enough gem. I genuinely didn't even know Tasmania existed before moving to Australia. When it was time to do our farm work, we took out a map, pointed our finger at a random place, and it landed in Tasmania. Before that, I didn't know it existed, but it was the best decision ever. It ended up being one of my favorite chapters in Australia and one of my favorite places in Australia. It was so beautiful and so peaceful, and somehow it reminded of home. Even though the nature doesn't look anything like home, but still, I don't know, it felt like home. If you ever get a chance to go, it's 100% worth it. Bring your own culture. Bring your own drink to a restaurant. Yep, didn't know that existed before either. Not a thing in my country. The first time I heard it, I was confused, like, what does it mean and what am I allowed to bring? But it is a normal thing in some restaurants in Australia. And honestly, I think it's kind of a great that you don't have to spend so much, or you can pick your favorites to bring or whatever. But yeah, it is a thing. Shops close early. Most shops close around 5, 6, or maybe 7 the latest. I come from a place where shops stay opened until 9 p.m. most days. And it's the opposite in Australia. Most shops close early most days and stay open for 1 day longer. Back home, it's completely opposite. Most days they're open until 9 p.m. and they only close early for 1 day on Sundays, like 7 p.m. And I mean retail shops mostly. The food shops are usually open until 10 p.m. and we even have a store back home that stays open 24/7, a food shop, and I don't know why. But in Australia, they do have late shopping nights, and in Sydney, they were on Thursdays. I don't know if it's different in some places or cities, but yeah, that's the day where the shops stayed open for longer and usually until 9 p.m. So that 9 to 5 workers could do their shopping on that day too. Renting a place. renting in Australia shocked me. And not maybe in the best way. Like, the photos don't often match the place at all. Like, all inspections feel like a job interview, and you're basically handing over your entire life story just to apply for the rental place. Pay slips, references, personal details, bank statement, like, it's a lot of information that they ask. And the inspections are only on certain times and days. And as a working person, it was honestly sometimes impossible to go see the place. Like, I'm working, I can't go on that day or that time. And at one point, I was even considering to apply to rent without even seeing the place, even though I knew it was a big risk. Thankfully, everything worked out, but renting is kind of stressful and time consuming, in my opinion, in Australia. Unless you start to live in a shared place where you share an apartment with multiple different people or friends or something like that. So you only rent the room in that apartment. But yeah, that's a different kind of story. Rent inspections. Yep, that shocked me too, that strangers coming to check your home every 6 months or so, depending on the contract, that was a shock to me, even if you weren't at home. So if you have a work day, the real estate agent still comes to inspect the place if everything is right, if something is broken, if something is damaged, so they can let the owners know. So I do completely understand it, why it's necessary, but I also felt so weird that someone is going to my home, a stranger, taking photos while my personal stuff is in there. Like, I don't know. It actually made me nervous and didn't really like it. We don't have that back home. How strong the sun is. Yes, I knew that Australia is a warm country and the weather is hot, but the sun is on another level. When I first arrived, I didn't think the sun is so much stronger than in Estonia. Yes, I know, naive, and well, it just didn't cross my mind. I didn't think about it, but I learned that the hard way, that even on a cloudy day, you have to wear 50 SPF sunscreen. Our normal UV in summertime is around 5 to 7, and the highest I think it can get is like 8. But in Australia, the average is already higher than that, like 6 to 10. And the highest it can get is like over 11, which is very high and extreme. So always wear sunscreen, even on cloudy days and winter. Wear a hat and always have a sunscreen on your bag. People saying sorry. I love this. Like, it might sound weird what I mean by that, but hear me out. People stand in your way for a second in grocery stores or let's say anywhere. It's, oh, sorry. Someone brushes past you. Oh, sorry. You know what I mean, right? And I don't even know how to explain it, but I think people who know what I mean. In my country, no one does that. Like, there's no such thing. You barely even hear a thank you in grocery stores or if you help someone. I mean, literally. I've said something nice to someone and I get a weird stare back instead of a, oh, thank you. It's just wildly different cultures, and Australians are very friendly, open, and social, and Estonians are just very reserved, like to keep it to themselves. And it's not that we're rude, it's just we don't do small talk or talk to strangers at all. So yeah, it's just a very different culture, and I think Europeans know what I mean. Yeah, I don't know. If you get me, you get me. If you don't, you don't. That's fine. And I actually miss the sorry so much. Like, a simple but a powerful thing to say. Oh, sorry. Weekly payments. I loved it. Like, it felt like you don't have to worry about money running out because I knew that I will get something in a week anyway. Back home, we get paid monthly, and it always feels like an endless wait. Like, you pay your bills and then suddenly all your salary is gone and you have to wait 3 more weeks to earn something. And yeah, weekly pay just felt less stressful for me. The birds, animals, and the sounds. The bird sounds might annoy some people, but I absolutely loved it. Birds waking up early in the morning with their sounds, cockatoos just living their best life, walking around and seeing birds everywhere, bunnies hopping around in Sydney, in some places, spiders, lizards, just part of daily life. And I found it magical, except the spiders though, but it did made me smile. Like, I don't know, it just felt magical, a completely different ambience, and it's something I miss a lot too. Living in a different country means a lot of lessons to be learned. So many things work in a different way, and you kind of figure them out as you live there. Like, you can't prepare for everything, and you can't imagine things the way they are before you actually arrive there. And that's okay. And that's honestly one of the favorite parts of living abroad, noticing the small differences, adapting to them, and then one day realizing they've become completely normal. So if you've lived in Australia, tell me, what was the one thing that surprised you the most? Because I'm sure there's more than I mentioned, and these were just some that popped into my head at this moment. And if you are from Australia, let me know what shocked you about other countries, like in Europe when you've traveled. I would love to know. P.S. I absolutely love Australia. Thank you for watching.